You have to choose. With
I've been
his lifetime ban is officially over, is Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame or is Pete Rose out of the Hall of Fame?
I've been adamant since reading his book, My Prison Without Bars, he should be in the Hall of Fame. To me, Pete Rose is a Hall of Famer. I don't care that he bet on baseball. I don't care that he's a dirtbag. I don't care that he surrounded himself with terrible people. There is nobody who played the game harder, played the game the right way, had more hits, and also had more impact. Like guys like Mike Schmidt, who literally like attribute their success to, or attribute getting better to being around him. There are so many players. I mean, Joe Morgan was fighting with baseball to get him in. Mike Schmidt was fighting with baseball to get him in. Like these are very well respected people in the game that were standing behind him. Is he a dirtbag? 1,000%. 1,000%. He was a tough kid from Cincinnati with a tough upbringing. He did bad things. He surrounded himself with bad people, but on the field, there's no player who better demonstrates how baseball should be played than Pete Rose. He's a Hall of Famer. The lifetime ban is stupid. He should be in the Hall of Fame. And if they do not put him in the Hall of Fame, like stat, it'll be a tragedy. And the biggest tragedy is the fact that he had to die to get in.
Yeah. It,
Baseball screwed this up so badly. So badly.
they did. And I mean, I did watch the documentary on it. I thought it was very well done. Um,
It was. It
and
was good.
and one episode I was like, "Yep, he's in the Hall of Fame for sure." Next episode, I was like, "Well, maybe not." And then the third episode, I'm like, "Oh, definitely in." Fourth episode, I'm like, "Nope, definitely out."
It
Like
was a roller coaster ride. It was.
it really was. It was really well done. I'm just gonna go back to what I said earlier. The all-time hit king in your sport, the guy, no one has have more base hits in their career than this dude, and he's not in. It was a lifetime ban. The lifetime is over. He should be in. End of story. He should have been in before his life was over. It's absolutely criminal what they did to this dude.
It's
What
yeah,
he
it's just wrong.
what he did was wrong. Yes, it was. It was wrong. He shouldn't have done what he did. But
And
he paid his price. He did his time.
yeah, and John, this is a fair point. He did not do the bare minimum to prove he was remorseful. He gave a bunch of empty apologies. He wrote some letters, and you're right. He did not do the bare minimum to be remorseful. But I think the matter of the fact is he wasn't remorseful. I
Right.
I don't. He doesn't believe what he did was wrong. And I think there's a lot of us that are on the fence about whether or not what he did was wrong. Like I don't view him betting on games as a huge problem because as a manager, what was he doing to throw games? And when you look at the track record he had, like there's nothing in what he did, and nobody's been able to prove to me that he actually changed the outcome of games to fix it to try to fix the bets. And maybe he did, but there's no proof to show that he actually ever did that. Was he a dirtbag? Yes. Did he have a gambling addiction? 100%. Was he a good guy off the field? Not a single chance that he was. But on the field, there was nobody who better exemplified baseball than this guy.
I I now turn to the 2017 Astros, right? Because AJ Hinch, Alex Cora, that whole team banging on trash cans to relay signals from a TV is flat changing outcomes of games.
Yep.
Like underneath everybody's noses, they're changing the outcomes of games. They both 1 year suspension and are both managing. They both have a job in
Which is a
MLB.
joke.
I agree. As good as both of them are, it's an absolute joke that they're still in the game and you're sitting on a lifetime ban for this guy. Like, what an absolute slap in the face. Like, you've already made him serve his time. And then he sees this go down and they get a 1 year suspension and they're back and they have their jobs. I,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I don't.
I'm a Red Sox fan. I have no respect for Alex Cora, and I feel like he should have been banned for life. And he's the manager of my team, and I have no respect for him. And I really think he
Same.
should not be in baseball
No, he shouldn't.
because what they did directly impacted the outcome of games. They robbed teams of wins. They change the outcome of the season. They change the winner of the World Series. To me, that is far worse than placing some bets on baseball that it looks like you didn't actually do anything to try to fix the outcome of the game.
Right.
Like I'm so like I'm so over the Pete Rose thing. Baseball botched it. Every commissioner after didn't have the stones to deal with it. Was Pete Rose remorseful? No. And honestly, he was never going to be remorseful because he doesn't think what he did was wrong. And most people, and the documentary showed this, most people don't think what he did was wrong. They're like, whatever.
Right.
Greatest hitter of all time. Like,
Yeah.
put him in the Hall of Fame.
And I think we're starting to see a generational divide, I think, a little bit here because, we didn't really get to see Pete Rose play,
No.
and, people of his era, a lot of them say, no, he was a terrible man. What he did, it was not acceptable. Like he's just completely out. Like, and you can't change their view on it. Like that's that. Where like our generation and younger, we're just like, okay, like, why isn't he in? This doesn't make sense. And like, you can't be having Major League Baseball games being sponsored by DraftKings and FanDuel
I know.
and then saying that gambling's bad. Like you can't talk out of both sides of your mouth. That's not okay.
No, and MLB is inviting the Fox into the hen house right now by having these gambling partnerships. This is going to become a bigger problem.
Yeah.
And I think MLB very cleanly swept the Shohei thing under the rug. I don't think Shohei's hands are clean there, but they made it disappear because he's selling a bunch of merchandise and tickets. You can talk about the eBay picture.
Yes,
Go for it.
I sent Harrison an Instagram picture of Ipe wearing a Christmas sweater that said Shohei did it from shoulder to shoulder. It's the best. I kind of want that holiday sweater. I hope it goes up on eBay soon. But yeah, absolutely amazing. I'm with you,
John. 100%. What the 1919 White Sox did and what the Houston Astros did, not much different.
No.
Only difference is the White Sox tried to lose because they were pissed at the owner, whereas the Astros cheated to actually win. Give themselves the advantage to win games. But I mean, Pete Rose, 17-time All-Star, an MVP, Rookie of the Year, 3 World Series championships, a Silver Slugger, 3 batting titles, World Series MVP, 2-time Gold Glove. Oh yeah, and he won a humanitarian Roberto Clemente Award.
Oh.
What are we doing here, baseball?
Yeah. Yeah.
And really, the only guy from the whole Houston Astros thing that's gotten screwed from it is Carlos Beltran. He's basically been blacklisted in baseball.
Yep.
Alex Cora still managing. AJ Hinch still managing. Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve still playing. Carlos Beltran got absolutely branded a cheater and won't get into the Hall of Fame, which his candidacy is questionable. But he's the only guy that had any fallout.
Yeah. I did see this point too,
Yeah.
John, about the football players and DraftKings and all that stuff. But
MLB is now in bed with the gambling places, and they need to make this right. They need to come clean and fix it. There's no world where Pete Rose should be out of the Hall of Fame.
No, I agree.
But I don't think the existing MLB front office has the cojones to touch this. Manfred will not let that be his legacy.
No.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. DraftKings should actually start the campaign to get Pete in the Hall.
That's not a bad idea. I would almost put Pete Rose in the Hall before I start letting the steroid guys in. Right? He has to be the first one in. Correct?
They need to put him in ASAP. Like there should be like an express lane to put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. He's dead. Like it's over. MLB, you won. Good for you. You can go to bed tonight feeling like you won this battle. All of you previous commissioners who didn't have the stones to deal with this situation. You won. So put him in the Hall. He never got to. You never let the man enjoy the fruits of his labor and all the things he brought to the game. You win.